Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? So this is our third live stream of the morning, and this one's frankly because I read an article on CNBC that kind of just summarized how I see the real estate market today. Again, I look at my market every day, and it's not very often where I see an article that just so succinctly captures what I believe is going on. And I thought I would walk through it because I thought it was laid out in a pretty nice manner. So again, the title of the article is Frozen Housing Market Relies on Bargains and Desperation. So the article starts out with a gentleman named Jim Morris. He is looking for a South Florida mansion. He's big time, but he is looking for a bargain price. So this individual does have the cash. He apparently runs a business that is doing quite well in this environment. His business is up 300%, so he's doing just fine. And he is looking to take advantage of this environment and basically buy something at a steep discount because he has the cash ready to buy, and he knows what he wants. So by the end of the article, he talks about where was it? I think it was a $15 million oceanfront mansion in Florida, where he is, trying to work with the buyer to reduce the price. And the seller didn't agree the first time he made an offer, but then called him back with a 20% reduction. So again, 15 million takes it to 12 million. And there's another example here we'll go through in a minute, but this is the kind of stuff that is happening. Earlier in the week, I talked about writing 7 offers. I wrote every offer at least 30% below list price because I was trying to create an anchor, right? This is what I'll pay. I didn't expect any of those offers to be accepted today. I am playing for 30 days from now because I believe, as does Jim Morris, that there are very, very few cash buyers out there looking for deals. Jim is looking at a price point that most people won't, i.e. mansions in Florida. I am looking for inventory that is cheap and distressed that nobody can get loans on. So I'm using the loan environment to my advantage because I can write a check and buy this stress. So I think that there are going to be buyers out there, and what I am seeing, or there are going to be transactions, but there will be only with motivated sellers. Because this is what's going on. If you're listing a house today, right, if you put up a new listing today, buyers are going to assume, like me, are going to assume that there's some motivation. Most folks will not list today if they don't have to sell. So listings, without a doubt, are going to fall. And we talked in our daily discussions today about Zillow saying, I think it was 27% new listings fell. In New York was 57. So absolutely listings are going to go down. Next is the West Coast is particularly vulnerable. I think the West Coast, meaning LA, Orange County, San Francisco, the Bay Area, and then New York, are going to see huge price drops because, as I've told you for a year now, they're unaffordable. I believe New York could easily see a 40% price decline. I think the Bay Area could see 20%, 25% price decline inside of 12 months. It is going to be a bloodbath. In the Bay Area, it'll become a bloodbath once small startups start laying off workers, which I think is around the corner. The other thing that's going to happen in this article is renters and tenants are going to start to double up. And again, this is what happened and what I told you happened in 2010 is people left apartments and they moved in with their mom, their sister, their brother, their neighbor in a house because it's easier to double up in a house than it is a small 600-700 square foot apartment. So I fully expect houses. In addition, if you have to quote unquote social distance, do you want to do that in an apartment with your walls are shared with your neighbor? Or do you want to do that in the house so you can go in the backyard and stretch your legs? Another thing that this article really talks about, and I believe is true, is not only listings are going to fall, and again, Zillow talked about 27%, but demand, offers, buyers is going to fall faster. We are scared. We are seeing record new unemployment claims. We are going to see a record GDP fall in the second quarter. Buyers are not going to come out and sign up for a big old mortgage payment in the near term, at least, until we get on the other side of this. And that's just the perfect scenario to buy from motivated sellers, right? This is what's going to happen. And this is why I'm going to be aggressive this year because finding a motivated seller will be as easy as 2010. 2010, they were waving their hands saying, buy me, buy me, buy me, any offer accepted, let's go. I think we're going to get there. As this article points out, it will be a gradual fall, right? May will be better than April, right? April's better than March. May will be better than April. June will be better than May, so on and so forth until we're to the other side. And what I mean by better is the deals are available. The motivated sellers will get more and more aggressive. I don't know what word to say because they need to sell. There's a reason. They need the cash. They need something. So today, as the article points out, Mark Zandi talks about housing prices maybe falling 1% or 2% in the beginning. But as it gets to the end of the summer, if we're still in this, price drops will be further. And again, I think that's a statistical anomaly because I think, again, New York and the Bay Area are in big trouble. New York, for example, for 2 weeks in a row have had 2 transactions over 4 million. And when you take out the bell curve, right, the second standard deviation of price points, it really impacts the average. So all these talks of average, market price is really going to be impacted because the higher end is falling off a cliff. It's just falling off a cliff. I think New York could see years of trouble and maybe a decade before it's back to the price points where it was heading into this. The Bay Area is in trouble as well. Just the high end is not going to be what it was before this. Then the last thing is another example of a couple. They made an offer in, what did it say? They made an offer on a New Jersey condo that was listed at 1.3 million. They offered 990K. That's a hell of a discount, right? It's about 22%, I think, below asking price. The seller, of course, said no thanks. But guess what happened 30 days later? The seller came back and said, can you make that offer again? We want to accept. This is exactly the strategy I put out there on Tuesday. I want 7 offers out, and maybe in 30 days, I hear back from 1 or 2 of them. That's what I'm doing right now. Is I know prices will get better. I'm not going to pay anything close to list price today for distressed assets. I'm going to use my cash as a strength. I'm going to use my private investors as a strength. And I learn my market. I watch my market every single day. And again, you need to learn your market. Don't get distracted. Don't confuse yourself with different asset types. Don't look at different cities because you just confuse yourself. You need focus and confidence to feel good about what you're doing. So again, I thought this article, frozen housing market relies on bargains and desperation, really summarized exactly what I'm doing today. Making offers, setting that, pole in the ground and letting, time go by so that the sellers can come back and say, hey, you still interested in my property at, price point X. So that's what I'm doing today. Let me know what you're seeing out there. Lots of my students watch this, so let me know. This is the best time to learn your market because when you can watch a market every day and you see changes, pendings, inventory fall, things come back, that's when you really understand what's going on. You can calculate the return. I would tell you the returns today are going to be better than they were in January, which is an important thing. And again, I'm going to be curious to see what Jim Morris buys in South Florida because I couldn't imagine buying a $15 million mansion. That's just crazy. So in the end, I'd love to hear what you guys are doing out there. Anybody making offers, Yeah, I'd love to hear from you. What are you making offers on? Like one of mine was listed at 150 and I offered 100. Another one was listed at 125. I offered 85. So these are just the offers that I made. Again, these are on Tuesday. I didn't expect to get any, but maybe in 30 days I'll get one or two. Let me know what you think. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day.